Come, train if you feel like it. These may be mere illusions, but they hit and...
hard at work on a new design. His disturbing smile seems permanently glued to his face.
Anything I can offer you today? And what did she say? Please, don't keep me waiting. What did she say?
The moment you tell him she agreed to meet, but before you even have a chance to finish your sentence, he shakes your hand, bows, and disappears into the weirdness. This is a familiar face. You've met him before, but something has changed since then. He sits on a stone with slumped shoulders, and his head droops over a fading weird candle.
You again. Be gone. Don't tempt me to resume my search. I haven't found them. There's nothing but madness around us. I'm too tired to go on.
You tell him about your meeting with the witch. He looks at you with desperation and confusion on his face. Then, although you don't know why, you hear your voice changing.
I'm here, and I see you, friend.
It's the witch speaking through you.
What's going on?
I know what you've been looking for. I know that you didn't find it. And I know that it's lost forever.
The man buries his face in his hands.
They're gone. You're alone now. But that doesn't mean that you have to be lonely forever.
He gazes up at you as if you must be his savior. You have no idea what's happening, much less what to say. You can muster only a few paltry platitudes, sounding a bit like, even though you realize that these words wouldn't comfort anyone in ordinary circumstances, the man does seem a little bit happier. Suddenly, he begins disintegrating into a cloud of weirdness.
The bottle.
Before the witch's voice stops ringing in your ears, you realize you've already taken out the empty bottle she gave you. You've been wandering through the weirdness so long that it doesn't even surprise you when the cloud of smoke flows into the bottle.
Now get back to me. Yes, I can see that you're back. And I'm delighted to be sure that you're actually real. But we'll get back to that. Now let's get back to the poor soul trapped in that vessel.
She gently takes the artifact out of your hands and chants something over it. You can feel the weirdness becoming thicker. Then you hear a voice. It doesn't belong to a human.
Easy. Don't be afraid. Come over. I promised you wouldn't be lonely anymore.
Her voice is gentle. It's as if she's trying not to scare something away.
Here, you won't find what you're looking for. But I found you a new home. A new master.
You hear something running towards you.
Here, meet your new friend.
The wolf stops by your feet and demands cuddles.
He might well have been a wolf way back in the past. Then when he got lost, or lost what was dearest to him, he became a purpose. And this purpose was given a different shape by the witness. And now that he's found a new family, he's finally back to a more suitable self. Congratulations, you saved a soul. But this is my time to leave. Find me again and we'll talk about visiting the village. You see? I remembered.
Feels like an echo of something that happened before. Like then, you're left with the sensation of a strange power growing within you. Find a chest with strange markings across its entire surface. Most are illegible due to the duration of time it has been in the ground, but what little you can decipher reads: you feel a sharp sting, and then your head becomes dizzy. After a while, you can't recall precisely what happened, but the runestone you found inside should make the sacrifice worthwhile. Strange, aggressive voices coming from the distance. Then, soon enough, you see a group of people carrying a burning statue of a demon.
Worship her! Worship her!
As you bow, the statue looms larger. She stands still, though in the flickering light of the flames, she seems to wave her arms towards you. The mad crowd cheers, raising their weapons to the sky.
And you worship her! Come with us! We shall feast together!
The crazed worshippers look at you with excited anticipation. Then one of the older men realizes that you're not well versed in their ways. You look around and notice that every single member of this cult is missing something. A hand, an ear, or even just a finger. As you offer your blood, a man carves off a sizable chunk of their holy statue and hands it to you on a wooden platter.
Eat, and you shall become one of us.
You bite into the piece with hesitation, but you quickly realize it's just meat. It doesn't seem to be tainted by weirdness in any way. One of the men approaches you. He hands you a curved dagger. It's not very sharp, but it's decorated with rather morbid ornaments.
From every man you slay, you shall carve out his liver. Then you shall lay it upon the tainted altar in praise of the Whisper.
Suddenly you hear a voice in your head, seemingly coming out of nowhere.
The meat is safe. These morons found a small, underdeveloped rat on their way. They killed it, and now they think that was some great victory. But I can feel you're not like them. I can use this kind of power. Go, find something your people call a tainted altar, and we shall see what your future might hold.
This ancient, thick-walled broch now serves as a private prison. You may try to break the prisoner free, but you never know who that might be. A follower who will strengthen your village. An
you for taking my Then I'll meet you in your...
He then As you approach the tree, it seems to shift and move. You draw closer, and suddenly you realize why the tree appears to be moving. Dozens of rotting bodies dangle and sway in the breeze. It looks like a strange dance with their necks nodding along in their nooses. Something falls out of one of the corpse's pockets. You catch it just before it lands on the ground. You notice the ruins of a home that was burned down. There's no telling whether it was destroyed during the war, set alight out of spite, or simply burned down due to an unfortunate accident. You find nothing, and the house changes again.
weirdness is coming. Brace yourselves before you turn into one of them.
You hear a shout before you see the shouter. Soon enough, you see something that must have been a human being once, but isn't anymore. Or maybe it never was. It's a market stall.
Good day, traveler. I'm a market stall, specializing in weapons and armors.
It says. You blink a couple of times, but the voice is clearly coming from this piece of furniture.
Please do not stare. It's rude. If you want something, I have an offer. Make your contribution and choose whatever you please. And don't cheat. I know when people cheat.
joyful melodies at that. They sound weirdly inappropriate, drifting through the inscrutable darkness. Then, the source of the sound appears.
Oh, a traveler. Come on, sing with me.
There are many instruments around, all made from materials at hand. Most have been crafted from sticks and bushes, but you can also see some monstrous body parts here and there.
Singing is the only thing that will get us through these strange times, don't you agree? Sing with me. You aren't all that bright, are you? My music once filled the halls of... Wait, what was the name of that king? You know, the tall one. Arthur? Yes, grumpy one, didn't like jokes, but he paid well.
He starts to dance again, clapping on his belly like a drum.
Speaking of paying, Master Stranger, do you have any coins to spare? If you do, I might teach you a song or two.
Thank you for breaking me out of that prison. It felt like eternity. Maybe it was an eternity. Are you ready to practice? There's nothing to talk about, really. Prisons are built to lock bad people up, so I must have been one of them. Back then. Why are you so interested in my past? Well, you gave me back my freedom. I suppose that I owe you a story in addition to my services. I was a commander of Lord Warwick's private army. Served under his damned 8 stars on a burgundy background flag. When I tried to retire, he forced me to stay on as a tutor. So I trained his soldiers. And believe me, I trained them well. Then, one time, I disobeyed an order. Refused to train one of the younglings. I just couldn't.
You can see that he doesn't want to continue.
The ending of this story? Well, you already know it. You set me free from the prison I ended up in. And now my skills are at your command. Just do not repeat my lord's mistakes. Don't be stubborn. Observe what's going on around you. Then you should be fine. I shall speak no more. I have my honor to protect. Well, that's all I have left of my former life.
The blacksmith is hard at work when you approach him.
Don't even think about bringing other blacksmiths here with you. This village is mine. We are dead serious when it comes to competition.
You find a group of men sitting around a campfire. You approach a weird, ethereal being. It exists in the material realm, yet leaves a fleeting, otherworldly impression. Her eyes twinkle and glow with a unique emerald shade. She's not a witch, that's for sure, but you're not exactly certain she's human. She seems to be composed of wood moss and starlight, but the warmth she evokes in you is soon frozen by the realization that she sits in a writhing snake's nest. Oh my, look who we have here, my darlings. Another lost soul. She stares as more snakes slither from the woods. Tell me, what is it you want, traveler? We can do things for you if you simply promise to leave our nest in peace. yet not greedy? That is interesting indeed. Go now then and leave us in peace.